All right, so are you ready to dive into something totally new?
I'm intrigued. What have you got for us?
Well, today we're exploring screenella.
Screenella. Okay, you're going to have to explain that one.
It's a term coined by filmmaker Sithesh Govind.
Oh, a filmmaker. So is this something to do with, like, screenwriting?
Exactly. We're actually diving into an interview with him about his debut book, A Nutty Affair, and this whole new genre he's created.
Okay, I'm all ears. Filmmaking and writing. Tell me more.
So, A Nutty Affair, it's about this married couple.
Okay.
And you get this, they're being sued by the husband's father because they haven't had any children.
Wow. Talk about family drama, huh?
Right. And apparently Govind writes it in this really humorous but relatable way.
I can see that. I mean, the premise itself is hilarious, but it also makes you think about those societal pressures, right?
Yeah, totally. Like, it's funny, but it also makes you wonder about the expectations placed on couples and things like that.
Definitely. So how does this screenella thing fit into all of this?
So from what I gathered, screenella is basically like,
Like a blend.
yeah, a fusion of the novella and the screenplay.
Interesting. So he's combining those two forms.
Exactly.
Makes sense since he's coming from a film background. Do you think his writing style reflects that?
Oh, absolutely. In the interview, he talks about how he thinks in scenes.
Oh, I can see that.
And that's how he writes with such vivid descriptions.
It's like you're reading a movie, right?
Yeah. It's like he's not just telling you a story, but he's giving you the whole cinematic experience.
Love that. I'm always drawn to really visual writing, where you can just picture everything unfolding in your mind.
Yeah. Right. Like instead of just saying the man walked across the room, he'd probably describe every little detail.
Yes. The way his eyes move, the objects he passes, the sounds. Ooh, I love that.
It's like he's setting the scene for a movie, but with words.
I'm sold. I need to read this book.
You definitely should. It's like nothing I've ever encountered before.
Mm.
It really is amazing how he can create that cinematic feel with just his words.
It's masterful, really. It's like, when a director wants to set a certain mood. Dim lighting, maybe some quiet chatter in the background, the clinking of glasses.
Oh, totally. It sets the whole atmosphere.
Exactly. And Govind does the same thing, but with his descriptions. He chooses words that just make you experience those details.
Yeah, it's more than just reading. It's like you're there.
Absolutely. So I'm curious, making that jump from screenplays to a novel, that must have come with its own set of challenges, right?
I bet. Like
Yeah.
in a movie, you can just show those visual elements, but in a book.
You have to find a way to convey them through the writing, yeah.
Did Govind actually talk about the difficulties of making that transition?
He did. He said something like, hold on, I actually wrote it down. Adapting to the intricacies of novel writing, such as delving deeper into character development and internal dialogues, required a shift in my approach.
Wow. That's it. Exactly. It's a completely different way of storytelling.
Right. And pacing, too. It's so important in both mediums, but it works in such different ways.
True. In a movie, you've got cuts and edits, music. All those things create the pace.
Exactly. But with Screenella, Govind's got to rely solely on his words. The way his sentences flow, the pauses he's using those to create that same effect.
It's pretty mind-blowing when you think about it that way.
It is, and it's interesting to see how other filmmakers have tackled this transition to writing novels.
Oh, yeah. Like who?
Well, Quentin Tarantino, for example. His novels are so dialogue-driven.
That makes sense. His movies are too.
Exactly. And then there's Guillermo del Toro. His books have that same gothic horror vibe as his films.
It's like they're bringing their unique styles to a whole new medium.
Precisely. And that's what excites me about Screenella. It's pushing those boundaries. It's not just adapting, it's innovating.
It makes you wonder, is this the future of storytelling?
Right. Like, are we moving towards this world where the lines between mediums just get blurrier and blurrier?
Where you don't just read a story, you experience it like a film.
It's a really fascinating concept. And who knows, maybe Govind's onto something big here.
He just might be. And speaking of breaking new ground, there's one more detail from the interview I just have to share.
Oh, what's that?
So, you won't believe who designed the book cover for A Nutty Affair.
Oh, I'm dying to know. Don't hold out on me.
Govind's daughters.
No way. Seriously?
Yeah, it wasn't just like a, hey, draw something kind of thing either.
Oh, he really involved them
I
in the
know.
process.
It sounds like it. They brainstormed ideas, played around with different images, really took it seriously.
That's so cool. It's always inspiring to hear about artists bringing their kids into their work like that.
It's special, right?
Huh.
And it's not just the cover either. His wife came up with a tagline for the book.
Wow, a real family affair.
Totally. Yeah. And Govind talks about how important that collaborative spirit is to him. He even mentions all the feedback he got from colleagues.
It reminds you that even when it seems like someone's creating something brand new, like this whole Scrinella thing, there's still this element of teamwork involved.
Yeah, it's like they all played a part in bringing this unique vision to life.
Exactly. And I think that's a really powerful message. Like, you don't have to be a lone genius to create something amazing.
It takes a village, right?
Sometimes, yeah.
Well, on that note, I think we've done a pretty good job diving into the world of Scrinella and CSC Govind today.
We really covered it all, from lawsuits over grandkids to daughters designing book covers.
Only Govind could bring all those things together. But you know what really sticks with me?
What's that?
It's his willingness to experiment, to push boundaries and try something totally new. I mean, Scrinella, who thinks of that?
Right. It's inspiring.
It makes you wonder what other possibilities are out there just waiting to be discovered.
And maybe it takes someone like Govind, someone who's not afraid to break the mold, to show us what's possible.
Exactly. So to everyone listening, what's your Scrinella? What passion or unique perspective can you bring to the world?
Now, there's a thought to chew on.
And on that note, until next time.